everybody. From the Orange Bowl, here in Miami, Florida, this is Tom Hedrick, the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, along with Jack Grease, will be doing our play-by-play, the voice of the St. Louis Football Cardinals. We have an ideal day for the Super Bowl game, the second game between the AFL and NFL champions. Here in Miami, it's 64 degrees. The wind is blowing from the west at about 10 miles an hour, and it's partly cloudy. Yesterday was foggy and rainy down here, but today it couldn't be a better day for it. It's a sellout of 75,546 fans. The Green Bay Packers, the three-time NFL champions, will take on the upstart Oakland Raiders, who are making their first title appearance. They emerged triumphant this year with a great record of 13-1. And the Packers return to the AFL-NFL title game that they won from Kansas City last year, 35-10. The Packers get here to a couple of great victories. They knocked off the Rams 28-7. And 2 weeks ago, they knocked off Dallas 21-17. In the final 5 minutes, Bart Starr took them 68 yards to pay dirt. And the Oakland Raiders have got the finest record ever in the AFL. They won 11 straight. And on the record, they had a 13-1 mark. They were noted for their outstanding defense. That showed in the championship game when they defeated Houston 40-7. Both ball clubs are noted for their strong defensive units and their winning quarterbacks. The Packers recorded a 9-4-1 record, and they're led by the strongest core of linebackers in pro football. Ray Nitschke plays the middle. Of course, in the front four, they've got people like Willie Davis, all-pro defensive end, and all-NFL tackle Henry Jordan. Back deep, Herb Adderley, Willie Wood, and Bob Jeter play with the best coverage men in pro football. The Oakland Raiders are a strong defensive team, probably stronger than the Kansas City Chiefs last year because of their speed and quickness at cornerback. The Raiders, through 10 AFL games this year, yielded only 189 yards passing and running. However, the AFL champions right now have done a great job offensively because they have scored 468 points in the year. A big blow to this football team came in the Houston game when Tom Keating came up with an Achilles tendon, and he's been working the last 10 days, but it's very tender. He will not start today. This football team from Oakland's been dubbed the 11 Angry Men because 67 times in the year they have dumped opposing quarterbacks. Well, Keating is the man that gave them great solidification 2 years ago. He's 6'2" and 247, and along with Kansas City's Buck Buchanan, rates as an outstanding defensive tackle. So taking Keating's place today as a starter will be 6'3", 260-pound Carlton Oates. Now the quarterbacks again must be a key factor. Bart Starr was the star of last year's ball game for the Green Bay Packers. He clicked on 9 of 13 third down calls. 2 went for touchdowns. He was 16 for 23 passing and good for 250 yards. The Raiders signal caller is Darryl LaMonica. He's the AFL's most valuable player. He'll be in his second title game, but that compares to 12 for Bart Starr. LaMonica on the year completed 32 touchdown passes, and he was able to throw for right at 3,228 yards. He's got the tools to be an outstanding pro quarterback, the size, the running ability in the arm, and the leadership qualities, but he's only been in a big ball game once before. The Packers rate is a 12 to 14-point favorite. The strength of their experience, the defensive platoon, they have 97 years compared to 48 for Oakland. Offensively, there's about 13 years difference altogether. They've got a great defensive unit, the Packers do. They've got a tremendous quarterback in Bart Starr, and of course, a highly inspirational leader in Vince Lombardi. We'll bring more color and lineups in just a moment.
You're walking down a quiet street. There's the feeling of being alone in the world. That's kind of the way it was a while back if you smoked a reduced tar and nicotine cigarette. But now things are different. You're not alone anymore. Today, more and more people smoke true filter cigarettes because true satisfies. Satisfies with good taste and reduced tar and nicotine. True filter cigarettes. With the air filtration system, the good feel of a built-in mouthpiece, the good taste and reduced tar and nicotine. Latest U.S. government figures. 12.8 milligrams tar, 0.7 milligrams nicotine. With or without menthol. Shouldn't your brand be true?
Back at the Orange Bowl, Tom Hedrick along with Jack Grease, and quite a colorful pregame show. They've got a replica of the Green Bay Packers, and it's about 30 feet tall to our right, the Oakland Raiders to our left. And I think we'll have an outstanding football game, the second annual AFL-NFL championship game. And the man who today will call the play-by-play, the voice of the St. Louis Football Cardinals, Jack Grease. Jack?
Thank you, Tom. And this is the first bit of ferocious confrontation we've seen. These two giant papier-mâché figures animated down there with smoke coming out of their nostrils, symbolizing the Packers and the Raiders. Indeed, these two teams coming into this game have bent over backwards to say nothing to irritate the other, leading one wag to write in his column down here that the referee should be marrying Sam. Last year, Kansas City came into this ball game with a player designed to strike fear into the hearts of opponents, Fred Williamson, their defensive back, who was called the Hammer, but he didn't do much hammering against the Packers. This year, the center of attention has gone to big Ben Davidson, at close to 6 feet 8 and 275 pounds. He's a defensive end who got nationwide publicity for the one he laid on Joe Namath. And he has been billed as the big bad man in this game today. But it's been curious that the Packers have not singled out Mr. Davidson as they did not single out Mr. Williamson last year, and it's been nothing but complimentary marks from one to the other as the teams trained for this confrontation today. It'll be interesting to see how Green Bay treats Mr. Davidson. Last year, the terror in the line, really, all press notices going to the Hammer notwithstanding, was Buck Buchanan. And the Packers went right at him, ran their running game right to him, and did it successfully. Now, this year, they may elect to utilize their attack in the direction of Ben Davidson, and this might be a factor in favor of the Pack, because Ben Davidson, a noted pass rusher, is labeled as somewhat weak on the runs. The Oakland Raiders, underdogs in this event today, Tom, have been getting a lot of free coaching from the newspapers, who seem to be unanimous that the way they can beat the Packers is to exercise ball control, namely through shooting a running game at them, and they have two fine runners in Pete Banaszak and Hewitt Dixon, and to limit themselves to short passes. Well, this is always very nice in print, but in the course of a ball game, it's sometimes a little difficult to come by. I rather imagine that they will be going for long throws now and then, because they got a couple of guys that can gather them in. Billy Cannon has finally found a spot for himself in professional football at tight end. He was a great halfback, of course, at Louisiana State. And when he first came into the AFL, he was noteworthy for his lack of success. Finally, they put him at tight end, and it looks like at that point he has found a home. Well, if they can run those plays that get a tight end one-on-one, a throw completed to Billy Cannon could very well go all the way. And Hewitt Dixon, actually the fullback, or one of the two running backs, since they neither label him fullback nor halfback, has been the leading pass receiver of the Raiders. And, of course, that bespeaks a one-on-one situation, usually with that back against a linebacker. And since he can travel, that might be the sort of bomb that Darryl LaMonica will go for. You mentioned, Tom, that Darryl has had only one really big game in his career. This has been a fantastic year for LaMonica. And from all reports, not only has he been mechanically successful, but he has matured a lot.
He's a great leader. I remember last year when Kansas City was getting ready for the Super Bowl, he came to Long Beach and talked about how important it would be to make the big play to Lenny Dawson and people like that. He's been an amazing story, because here's a fellow that sat on the bench for 4 years behind Jackie Kemp. And Kemp was telling me why LaMonica's a winner. He said he's big at 6'3" and 215. He's got the arm, but the big thing about him, like Bart Starr, you can dump him for an 8- and 10-yard loss, and then the next time, he'll come back and make the big play. This is a real bit of I think, an important thing from a strategic standpoint, that a quarterback is a leader. When he calls a play in the huddle, they believe in him, and if he happens to absorb a loss, he can come back the next time and make that big play. And I agree with you. I think one key factor in this game, Oakland likes to sweep, led by Gene Upshaw. I was talking today to a fine defensive coach, the Boston coach, Mike Holloway. He doesn't think today they'll have very good success sweeping on Willie Davis and company, and I think he's probably right about that. And in talking to Len Dawson, the Chiefs quarterback, he feels that in order to move the ball successfully against Green Bay, that the Raiders must throw today. So you can't run at the Green Bay Packers, but you can throw at them if you throw short. So he thought this would be a key factor in the game.
Third and long yardage, though, doesn't indicate the short passing, so I hope the Raiders have got a few long pass patterns in their playbook, and I'm sure they have. I really would not be surprised to see the Raiders go right after the big outside lineman for Green Bay with attempts at a sweep. They've run sweeps well throughout the season. The sweep is not so much worrying about the size of the opponent as utilizing his momentum on his initial charge to get him out of there. And if they can throw the gauntlet down to Green Bay at any point where the Packers think they're at their strongest and do it successfully, it's a real good gambit to start out with, much the same as Green Bay teed off on Buck Buchanan in Kansas City last year. The Oakland Raiders, having won the toss and elected to receive, will start with Bill Miller at end position. He's a 6-footer at 190 with good speed. At left tackle at 245 pounds, 6 feet 4, will be Bob Swias. Gene Upshaw is a rookie, a number 1 draft choice, and he has done a startling thing, moving in at a starting guard position in professional play, but he's a fine one. He's 6'5", 255 pounds, is a lead man on the sweeps, and does a great job of blocking. Jim Otto is at center. He has a peculiar distinction of having number 00. And I'll guarantee you, when you get an odd number like that, you better be good because you're singled out, and he is. Jim Otto holds the distinction of being the only man to make every single all-pro team in the American Football League since its inception. 1960 on, Jim Otto has been the all-league center, and he is again this year. Wayne Hawkins will start at right guard. He's 6 feet tall, weighs 240 pounds. Harry Shue at 260 is at right tackle. And Billy Cannon is at right end. Darryl LaMonica will be the quarterback. And we talked about these backfield members pretty much. Pete Banasek at left halfback came in when Clem Daniels was injured and has more than won himself a berth. Ewart Dixon, a fine fullback. And Fred Biletnikoff of Florida State, who will have quite a local rooting section here, will be the flanker back. Interesting note, backing up Fred Biletnikoff at the flanker position is Rod Sherman, a rookie who holds the distinction of being the last player signed during the existence of the war between the leagues. Now, the Green Bay Packers are being introduced out on the field, and they are going to start on defense. Willie Davis at left end, Ron Kostelnik at left tackle, Henry Jordan at right tackle, and Lionel Aldridge at right end. I think it's worthy of note that this is the starting lineup that started against Kansas City a year ago, so there have been no upheavals in their defensive ranks. At left linebacker, the fleet-footed Dave Robinson, who was an end when he played for Penn State, and is one man that can go one-on-one with a back or a tight end and not get lost. Ray Nitschke is practically a living legend at middle linebacker, and Leroy Cappy holds down the right linebacker spot, providing a trio of linebackers that is labeled the best in all of football. In the defensive backfield, Herb Adderley is a perennial all-pro at left cornerback, and Bob Jeter will be holding down the right corner spot. The safety men are Tom Brown and Willie Wood. Those are the men that will start this game. When the Packers swing over onto offense, we'll see Boyd Dowler at split end, Bob Skoronski at left tackle, Gail Gillingham at left guard, Bob Hyland, or Ken Bowman rather, will be starting at center, Jerry Kramer at right guard, Forrest Gregg at right tackle, and Marv Fleming playing the tight end. Bart Starr, of course, will be at quarterback, backed up by Zeke Bratkowski. Donnie Anderson will start at the left halfback position, and Chuck Mercine will start at fullback. Carroll Dale is scheduled to begin at the flanker back position. It's interesting to note, speaking of Zeke Bratkowski, Tom, that many years ago, it was felt when Zeke Bratkowski was drafted by the Chicago Bears out of Georgia that George Ellis didn't give him a sufficient opportunity, that George Blanda was getting too old for the job, and Bratkowski should have been given the nod. Well, Bratkowski is having his 12th year in the National Football League right now, which gives you an indication of how far back we reach to get into the history of George Blanda, who does the field goal and extra point kicking for these Oakland Raiders, and who is now spending his 18th year, or finishing his 18th year, in the NFL. When Blanda and Lou Groza, the Cleveland Browns, get together, I guess they help each other up and down stairs.
He's an amazing story. He led the AFL in scoring this year with 116 points. He's always been a good kicker, but this year for the first time he can concentrate on his kicking. For example, in the championship ball game, he booted 4 field goals against Houston, his longest being a 42-yarder in that game. On 2 different occasions against Kansas City, he had 3 different field goals attempts and did a great job. He's had a 46-yarder. So Glenn is a fine backup quarterback for LaMonica. And talking about Groza, when you talk about great place kickers in football, you immediately think of Lou Groza. You also think of Gino Cappelletti in the East for the Boston Patriots, and now George Blanda. And another nice thing about him is the fact, Jack, you can backstop him, and he still does a good job.
Yes, he can come in and play quarterback and do a pretty good country job at it. Well, now all of the Raiders have been introduced. There have been a couple of changes in their defensive lineup. Carlton Oates will be taking over Tom Keating's position at right tackle, which is quite a blow to the Raiders. Keating is a good one. And Howie Williams will be moving in at the right safety position ahead of Dave Grayson. Otherwise, their usual defensive starters will be in play today. Ike Lassiter at left end, Dan Birdwell at left tackle, Ben Davidson at right end, Bill Lasky, Dan Connors, and Gus Otto are the linebackers. Ken McLuhan at halfback with Willie Brown, and Warren Powers with, as I mentioned, Howie Williams operating in the safety positions. These leagues have slightly different footballs. The American Football Leagues is a little longer and narrower, if that's a proper way to describe an oblate spheroid. But when the Raiders have the football on offense, they will use the American League ball, and the National League ball will be brought in when the Green Bay Packers are on offense. The captains have finished their meeting at the center of the field. They have indicated to the crowd the toss of the coin and the fact that Oakland won it and will receive. So Green Bay will kick off to Oakland, and Oakland, of course, would be delighted if they could put the first score up on the board. And now the Raiders have finished with their sideline huddle. They're heading out onto the field to deploy into position to receive the opening kickoff. Dave Grayson, who wears number 45, and the fleet-footed Larry Todd, who wears number 22, are going down as the deep men for Oakland. Don Chandler will kick off for Green Bay, and this game is moments away from being on. The scoreboard clock here is the official time, so we will be able to give you an accurate appraisal of time remaining in the various periods. Now Chandler has the ball teed up on the 40-yard line, backs away from it. Grayson and Todd are waiting right at their goal line. And the game is on. Chandler's kick is dropping on the 5-yard line, and it's taken out by Larry Todd at the 15, 20, 25. He's down, falls forward to about the 27 or 28-yard line. Bob Hyland was coming in there on the stop for the Green Bay Packers, and the ball is, let's call it the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for Oakland. Then a second Dixon, the running backs. The split end will be Bill Miller. Fred Politnikoff is the flanker. Politnikoff is going out wide to the right. Miller is wide to the left. The running back's in normal position. LaMonica is snug under the center at quarterback, and he gives the ball over to Dixon. Dixon is dumped. Coming in there was Nitschke as Dixon shot for the left side of the line, was upended at the line of scrimmage by Nitschke, and dropped down on the 28 for a short yard. So it'll be second down and 9 yards to go for the Oakland Raiders. The ball now is moved up to just across the 28-yard line. Billy Cannon, the tight end, is set to the left side, making a flanker out of Bill Miller, who's wide to the left. LaMonica barking the signals. He rolls out to the right. Has good protection. Lets one go out to the 40-yard line, incomplete out of bounds. That was Politnikoff over there, and covering on the play was Herb Adderley. Had he come down with the football, he would have been out of bounds. Incomplete forward pass makes it 3rd and 9 on the 28. And so, Politnikoff comes back to the Raiders huddle.
Talking about Politnikoff, he is much like Raymond Berry of Baltimore. He's got fine hands and excellent moves, not the great speed of many primary targets, but this fellow runs real good sideline patterns. He's wide to the right once again on a 3rd and long yardage situation, looking back at Darryl LaMonica. LaMonica straight back this time. He floats one out, intended for Hira Dixon behind the line of scrimmage to the right, incomplete. Pass was low. Ron Kostelnik, the left tackle for Green Bay, was pouring in there, and he hurried LaMonica's throw just a bit.
So the Oakland Raiders have failed to get a first down. The line of scrimmage is their own 28, and they'll have to punt the ball to the Green Bay Packers. Mike Eyeshide does the kicking, and he drops back to do just that. Willie Wood is deep, along with Tom Brown. The pass from center a little high, but he has time to haul it down, gets the punt up in the air over near the sidelines. Wood chases it right at the sidelines. He makes the catch and steps out of bounds. Put the ball in play just around the 34-yard line of the Green Bay Packers, having kept the Oakland Raiders from recording a first down, take over 1st and 10. Donnie Anderson and Chuck Mercine, the running backs for the Pack. Boyd Dollar at the split end goes out to the left side, but is staying in snug. A single flanker is out. That's Carroll Dale out wide to the right. Off to Donnie Anderson. Anderson fakes to the right and cuts back over the middle. Gets that ball up to about the 38-yard line before the stop is put on him by Ike Lassiter, who's come in there. Call it the 39. It'll be 2nd and 5. End and flank are both out now. And Ben Wilson has come in at fullback. He takes the handoff, swings out wide to the left, is caught along the 40-yard line and dropped at the 41. The stop at that time was Willie Brown. Gus Otto, the right side linebacker, shot through, got a hand on him, but couldn't quite bring him down. And I see Tom Keating is in the game, Tom.
He is, and that could be a big factor. They need him, especially in third down situations. On 3rd down and 3, 3rd down and 5, they play what they call the Oakland defense of the triple stack. With his quickness, they have to have him to do a good job going laterally on the right and left side.
3rd down, a little less than 3 yards to go. Bart Starr in a long count. He gives the ball to Donnie Anderson. Anderson has the first down as he pops through on a dive play along the left side. Shooting up across the 45 to be stopped by Ben Davidson at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for Green Bay. So the first down of the game is recorded, and it's recorded by the Green Bay Packers. They now have the ball on their own 46.
That time the Packers went to a double tight end alignment, getting an extra double team block, and that's one thing that some of the AFL people thought the Packers might do against the Oakland Raider defense.
They've got an end and flanker both out now. Running backs are split out. There's a throw out to the right to Carroll Dale. He makes the catch and then is spun out of bounds by Kent McLuhan. But the catch is made at the Raiders' 45-yard line. Looks like a penalty call back up the field, however. The referee today is Jack West of the American Football League. The penalty flag is down. Raiders were nipped on an illegal procedure, and the Packers declined it, taking the game. They put the ball down on the Oakland 45-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down, about a yard and a half to go. And off to Ben Wilson. He bounces off as he's hit on the line of scrimmage, loses him down, now fighting for that first down. Fumble. And where's the whistle blown? Dead. That fumble was grabbed by Kent McLuhan, but I believe that the whistle had blown the ball dead before it was dislodged from the grasp of the ball carrier. And a first down is recorded.
We were talking a moment ago about Keating. It was Keating who stopped fullback Ben Wilson, and again because of his great lateral pursuit, he's the man that made this Oakland Raider defense gel 2 years ago. He and McLuhan are their key men. McLuhan, I noticed early in the ball game, tried to cover the big fella, Roy Dowler, and it was good for a 9-yard gain.
So it's 1st and 10 for Green Bay. They've got the ball now on the Raiders' 44-yard line. Carroll Dale goes out wide to the left. Boyd Dollar is in tight to the right side. And penalty flags go down as Ben Wilson takes the handoff, cracks right tackle. Picked up maybe a yard, but it looked like the Raiders came offside. However, Green Bay may have drawn them offside, so we have to wait and see. Referee Jack West surveys the scene, and the penalty is against Oakland. The Oakland Raiders offside. Bart Starr has been going quite a bit to the long counts, suspecting that the Raiders might be a bit on the anxious and keyed up side, and It's paid off twice. The last time, however, they declined the penalty since the gain was better. But now it's 1st and 5 on the 39. End and flanker out. Bart Starr dropping straight back to throw. Has time to get it away. And pitches one to Mark Fleming, his tight end. Fleming is spun out of bounds on the left side down at the 31-yard line by Dave Grayson. First and 10. Now the Green Bay Packers have got the ball 31 yards away.
An area that Green Bay has an advantage is their great size, with Bar Fleming at tight end who's 6'4", and Boyd Dowler stands 6'5", and in a crowd, these men can go up and do a good job catching the sideline pass.
Back goes Bart Starr to throw once again. And now he arches one for the sidelines, and trying to get to that football, Carroll Dale had fallen down, and so the pass is incomplete. He got tangled up down there with Warren Powers, and the two fell to the ground, and the pass sailed harmlessly to the ground. Piece of yellow paper or something down in the field there. We thought for a moment it was a penalty flag, but it is not. It's picked up now by one of the officials and gotten off the field. The ball is back at the 31, where it's 2nd and 10. Second down, 10 yards to go as the Packers come out of their huddle. Ball on the Oakland 31-yard line. There was no score in this game as yet. 10:42 left in the first quarter. Carroll Dale wide to the right. Boyd Dowler split to the left. And on a draw play, Donnie Anderson slipped as he tries to cut and is dropped for a yard loss by Dan Connors, the middle linebacker, shooting through. That puts the ball back on the 32, where it'll be 3rd down and 11 yards to go. So, Bart Starr is looking at a 3rd and long yardage situation now. He's got the ball down on the Oakland Raiders' 32-yard line. 3rd down, 11 yards to go. He's got Carroll Dale coming out wide to the right and Boyd Dowler out to the left. McLuhan comes out to head up Carroll Dale. Back goes Starr, throws one over the middle. Pass is incomplete. It was tipped up by Ike Lassiter as it left Bart Starr's hands, and that ball deflected upward, sailed over the head of Mark Fleming and fell to the ground incomplete. So it's 4th down.
Good job, too, by the middle linebacker who's really come to the fore this year. And Connors from Miami put a hard rush on the quarterback as he dropped back on 3rd down and 11.
4th down now on the 32-yard line. Don Chandler has come in, and the Packers are going to try to get on the scoreboard with a field goal attempt. That will be tried from 39 yards away. Kick is on its way, and the kick is good. Timeout is called on the field with the score Green Bay 3, Oakland nothing.
Now there's a better idea from Ford. No other car in Ford's class offers disappearing headlamps at no extra cost. Only the Ford LTD, XL, and Country Squire give you disappearing headlamps as standard equipment, plus Ford's quiet ride. When Ford says better ideas, they just aren't kidding. Better ideas like strong die-cast grills that others in the same price class don't offer. Front disc brakes when you order power brakes. A fully synchronized manual transmission. The 68 Ford itself is a better idea. Quiet, strong, beautiful. A great road car. Drive one and see. Now there's a better idea from Ford.
This is Jack Drees with Tom Hedrick speaking to you from the Orange Bowl in Miami as the Green Bay Packers, with a 39-yard Don Chandler field goal, have taken a 3-0 lead. Chandler kicking off to the Oakland Raiders. A low kick. Fumbled, picked up, scooted, put back on a lateral to Dave Grayson, who spins into a swarm of tacklers at the 25. And he is down by Dick Kemp.
Dave Grayson twice, when he played for the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Texans, led the American Football League in kick returns. That's always been a specialty of his. He's a fine running back at the University of Oregon.
And now the Oakland Raiders have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line. They have two wide men set to the right side this time. LaMonica with the ball gives it over now to Pete Banaszak. Banaszak is trying that sweep and goes wide to the left and is out of bounds at the 29-yard line, where Willie Wood, the safety man, came over to get him out. Ball spotted at the 29. It's a gain of 4 yards to make it 2nd and 6.
We talked about Green Bay losing backs. The Raiders lost an exceptional back in Clement Daniels at midseason. The very first start, Banaszak against an excellent Kansas City ball club gained 82 yards and scored a touchdown.
Bolitnikov goes very wide to the right as a single flanker. LaMonica goes back to throw, looks out to the right side, throws one down there, completes it to Bill Miller, his split end on the right. And he is dropped as he gets that ball up to about the 38-yard line for a first down. Dave Robinson, the left side linebacker for Green Bay, making the tackle. The ball at the 38, and it's 1st and 10 as the Oakland Raiders have recorded their first down.
Offensively, they like that slot right formation, putting the split end or flanker back up there. And Miller, who had his finest year in the AFL in 1963, did a great job that time getting free and running a kind of a hook pattern.
Now the two wide men are set to the left. LaMonica gives the ball this time to Hewitt Dixon. Dixon straight ahead on a power plunge into the line. Gets up just across the 40 where he's caught by Ray Nitschke, the middle linebacker for Green Bay, and flung back. But his forward progress is ruled stopped at the 42. It's another 4-yard pickup, and again it's 2nd and 6. This time from the 42-yard line in their own territory. Oakland. 2nd down, 6 yards to go against Green Bay. From their own 42, Green Bay leading 3-0. 8 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Single flanker is out wide to the left. LaMonica barking the signals. It's a pitch out this time. Back to Hewitt Dixon. Dixon trying it wide to the left is caught by Leroy Caffey. A penalty flag goes down. He's caught right along the line of scrimmage. And let's see what that penalty marker is. There was little or no gain on the play. And the discussion is going on with the Green Bay Packers. Apparently the penalty is against Oakland. And it's a 15-yarder. Jack West gives the signal, and it's a personal foul against Oakland, clipping. So 15 yards puts that ball back on the 26-yard line. So it's a total loss of 16 on the play. The penalty imposed from the spot of the foul. And it'll be 2nd down still, but 2nd down with 22 yards to go. Now they're on their own 26. LaMonica looks over that Green Bay defense. He has two wide receivers set to the right side. The bootlegs back to the left, throws up over the middle. The pass is incomplete, but a penalty marker goes down. The target was Bill Miller, the split end. Willie Wood was the defender. And the referee is indicating Ray Nitschke and saying that he pushed one of them, and it's a pass interference call against the Green Bay Packers, giving to the Oakland Raiders a first down on the 38-yard line. 1st and 10. Hold up for 10 seconds now for station identification. This is the CBS Radio Network.
590 on your Tri-Cities dial. WROW Music, Albany, New York.
1st and 10. The ball on the 38. LaMonica taking a long count this time, reaches back to hand off to Hewitt Dixon, his fullback, going out wide to the right, trying to get around the corner, but there are too many Packers populating the corner. Bob Jeter and Leroy Caffey, the first of several to hit him and bring him down at the 41. It's a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. The score in the ball game is Green Bay 3, Oakland nothing. Don Chandler with a 39-yard field goal, putting the only score up on the board. Bolitnikov wide to the left, and operating more as a slot back. Also wide to the left side is Bill Miller, the split end. The two wide receivers out to the left as LaMonica goes back to throw. Has the protection, arches one across the middle to Bill Miller. Miller makes the catch. It's intermediately, but he's got that ball in Packer territory at the Green Bay 46. Willie Wood making the tackle for Green Bay.
time today that Bill Miller has been open has done a good job. Miller is a fellow that really has been kicked around the American Football League. Had his finest season with Buffalo in 1963 when he caught 69 passes and has done a great job this year for Coach Johnny Roush.
First and 10 now on the Green Bay 46-yard line. LaMonica dropping back, then hands off to Hewitt Dixon, and Dixon trying to get around the bend again is hit this time by Lionel Aldrich, the right end for the Green Bay Packers, and stopped at the 48. That's a loss of 2 on the play. And so the Oakland Raiders are trying those sweeps that were powerful in their campaign through the regular season against the almost sweep-proof Green Bay Packers and have not been able to spring a man around the corner yet. But they are shooting for the strong spots to see if they can get through them. But now it's 2nd and 12 on the 48. They're in Green Bay territory. 2nd and long yardage. A blitzing down. Let's see if Green Bay does that. They're rushing only with the front four, and it's a pretty good rush. LaMonica has to run out of the pocket to the right. He throws. The pass is incomplete. Willie Wood getting over there to break up the play. Pete Banasek, the running back, was the target on it. He was hit as he went for the football and couldn't hold on. So it's still on the 48-yard line, 3rd and 12.
You noted a fine rush was put on by Davis, the defensive left end, and then the quarterback had to roll to his right. And the thing that LaMonica does very well, he's a good scrambler. He was known in the AFL for 2 years as a possession-type quarterback and a good runner. And as he went to his right that time, he does what he likes to do in this situation, throws a circle or swing pass to either Hugh Dixon or Pete Banaszak.
Split end and flanker both out to the right side. Dixon and Banaszak, the running backs, they move out to the right now as LaMonica goes back to throw, and LaMonica let one get away. He shot it out to the right flat, intended for Hewitt Dixon, but it sailed about 5 feet over his head. Henry Jordan, the right tackle for the Green Bay Packers, was coming in there quite rapidly toward Darryl LaMonica, and it may have been a factor in the inaccuracy of the pass. But it runs Oakland out of downs, too far away for a field goal attempt. Mike Eichscheid goes back into punt formation. Tom Brown is waiting back there along with Willie Wood for the punt. Eichscheid puts one high in the air. Willie Wood drifts over near the sidelines for it, lets it bounce on the 5, but with great kicking accuracy by Mike Eichscheid, it goes out of bounds on the 3. Tom, that's one of the things that Mike was noted for. Timeout is called on the field with the score Green Bay 3 and Oakland nothing.
Most people think of household finance only as a lending company. That's not surprising, considering that HFC has been making consumer loans since 1878. But household service to the people goes far beyond lending. Over 700 colleges and universities are using an HFC subsidiary, Education Funds Incorporated, to help thousands of young men and women meet the cost of higher education. HFC also provides shoppers with better values through more than 4,600 franchised or company-owned retail stores bearing such well-known names as Barker Brothers, Scott's, Ben Franklin, Huffman & Boyle, Coos Brothers, and more. Even the head of lettuce in your refrigerator may have been cooled in a plant of City Products Corporation, an HFC subsidiary. Whether you're interested in a loan, a lawnmower, a head of lettuce, or a college degree, you can get it more readily today with one of the helpful services of household finance.
Now we're about ready to resume play. A beautiful punt, 45 yards as measured from the line of scrimmage, but deadly accurate by Mike Eichscheid. Laid the ball out of bounds at the Green Bay 3-yard line, and the Packers take it there. 1st and 10. Ben Wilson, Donnie Anderson, the running backs, and we can expect to see one of those two getting the ball. Bart Starr, quarterback, gives it to Ben Wilson. He has a hole up the middle and goes right straight through to the 10-yard line just across the 10. A gain of 7 yards and a big 7 yards because it gives Bart Starr a little operating room. On 2nd and 3, Howie Williams came up to make the tackle for the Oakland Raiders. 2nd down and 3, and now the ball is out at the 10-yard line. Goes out wide to the left side as a single flanker. Boyd Dollars come in to play a tight end on the right side. Hand off to Donnie Anderson. Donnie Anderson again with good line blocking, has a hole to the left. The secondary closed up in a hurry as he went over left guard to take the ball to the 13-yard line. Tom Keating making the tackle for the Raiders. Now let's see whether or not it's enough for a first down. First and 10.
Always a remarkable thing about the Packers is the way they quickly get off that football. And fundamental tackling, fundamental blocking, this team is so sound. In those last two games, the guards looked exceptionally sharp and quick, and Gail Gillingham and Jerry Kramer. Now they're ready to go with Bart Starr dropping back to throw a forward pass. Out to the left it goes. Completes to Carroll Dale. Carroll Dale is spun out of bounds along the sidelines by Willie Brown, the right cornerback, but not until he had taken the ball up across the 30-yard line. Ball just across the 30. It's a first down for Green Bay. So the Green Bay Packers, starting out in the hole on their own 3-yard line, have chalked up 2 first downs on this drive and are out now in far better field position with ground available to call on their full repertoire of plays. And the handoff is to Ben Wilson. Wilson again with a fine block. Cracks off left tackle and shoots through across the 35 to be dropped on the 36 by Dan Connors, the middle linebacker for Oakland. So it's a 6-yard pickup, and it's 2nd and 4 on the 36-yard line. Green Bay getting very sharp line blocking. They're blocking right straight ahead. These are not pulling plays, but wedge blocking, and they are opening holes. End and flank are both out, with Carroll Dale set very wide to the right, Dollar out to the left side. 2nd down, 4 yards to go. And this time, Donnie Anderson on a cross buck, starting from left halfback, cracks just to the right of center, and gets the ball out to around the 40, where Dan Connors was there again to bring him down. The ball just across the 40-yard line. That's very close to a first down, and they're going to bring the chains out now to measure. At a press conference the other day, Vince Lombardi talked about Donnie Anderson. He thinks he has done a tremendous job. He thinks he's an outstanding pass catcher, good athlete, and it's a first down for the Green Bay Packers at the 40. He said he's played under a lot of pressure because of the big bonus he signed for, but he is considering next year going to what he calls a 3-back backfield. And he said this is because he's got great outside speed, and Elijah Pitts will not play today, and Anderson, who he thinks could be a split end.
I'd like to be under the pressure of getting that kind of bonus, Tom.
You and me both.
Pressure I could live with.
Carroll Dale goes out wide to the left. He's single flanker. Boyd Dollar split a bit. Now he tightens up on the tackle on the right side. He's about 2 yards away from the tackle. Quick throw over the middle. Young overhead falls to the ground incomplete. Going for Mark Fleming, the tight end. It was a quick pop over the middle. Fleming had the ball in his hands but was juggling it. And when it finally dropped, it ruled an incomplete pass because he was never in possession and control. And one of the Raiders was shaken up on the play on the collision with Mark Fleming. That's Warren Powers, the left safety. So timeout is called on the field with the score, Green Bay 3, Oakland nothing. Roger Bird has come in to replace Warren Powers at the left safety position as Powers is being assisted to the sidelines. He doesn't appear to be injured, but pretty well knocked out. It's a very groggy Warren Powers that makes his way to the bench with the assistance of a teammate and a trainer. But now play is about to be resumed with that incomplete pass. It is 2nd down and 10 yards to go for Green Bay at their 40-yard line. Have 3 minutes left to play in the first quarter of the game with Green Bay out in front 3-0. This is Jack Drees with Tom Hedrick speaking to you from Miami, and it's the Super Bowl game, the champions of the American Football League against the champions of the NFL, the Green Bay Packers. Bart Starr. Pitch as he goes back to pass, gets away from the tackler and is running with the ball. Across the 50, down at the 45-yard line, and it'll be first down for Green Bay. Ben Davidson was in there on a big storming rush. And he banged into Starr, but Starr bounced off him, then rolled out to the left and went angling down near the sidelines to take the ball down to the Oakland 45-yard line.
That time it looked like a stunt might be on because Ben Davidson came to the inside. Keating was to go to the outside, and Starr scrambled that time around the left end and got that 15-yard pickup.
End and flank are both out. Green Bay 1st and 10, 45 yards away from the Oakland goal line. The handoff is to the fullback, Ben Wilson. Once again, that wedge blocking up the middle, springs the hole, and Wilson straight ahead takes that ball down to the 39-yard line. Dan Connors, the middle linebacker, Dan Birdwell, the left tackle, combining to bring him down. The Green Bay Packers offensive line is really blowing out of there. Ken Bowman at center, Gail Gillingham and Jerry Kramer at the guards. Bob Skoronsky, Forrest Gregg at the tackles, and they're doing quite a job. Second down, 4 yards to go. The ball on the Oakland 39. Handoff this time to Donnie Anderson. Donnie Anderson squirts through the line and takes it down to the 35 where Tom Keating, the right tackle, shifted over to the left side as he pursued the ball carrier and brought him down. So now the ball is at the 35. Just short of a first down. If they get to the other side of the 35, they'll have a first down. It's about a foot to go.
Green Bay has already picked up 7 first and 10s, and right now the Raiders have 2 passing, running, and 1 on a penalty.
Tight line formation indicating a running attempt for this first down. They've got about a foot and a half to go to get it. Anderson and Wilson, the running backs, and it's Donnie Anderson taking the handoff. Head down. He shoots into virtually no hole at all, but was able to pop across that 35. Did he pop far enough? Tom Keating and Dan Connors were blocking up the hole, and they're going to have to measure to see whether or not a first down was made by Green Bay. It was very close. Next week, it's the Pro Bowl from the Los Angeles Coliseum. The All-Stars from the Eastern and Western Conferences of the NFL over most of these CBS radio network stations. Now it's a matter of inches. It's fourth down and about 2 inches to go. Well, Vince Lombardi, how much of a gamble is 2 inches to the Green Bay Packers? And they go back into their huddle to go for it. Fourth down, 2 inches to go. The ball just across the 35. Anderson and Wilson, the running backs. Bart Starr now gets down over the center. He'll run a quarterback sneak this time, Tom. Now he gives it to Wilson. Off tackle, big hole, and then Wilson goes all the way to the 31 for a first down with plenty to spare before Willie Brown made the stop. The Oakland defensive line and linebackers expecting a play up the middle, all pinched in, and left the outside wide open. Green Bay Packer blocking on that side helped them on their journey by blocking them in, and the first down was easily recorded. First and 10, the ball just inside the 32-yard line. Single flanker is wide to the right as the gun sounds. There's the end of the first period with the score Green Bay 3, Oakland nothing.
You and I were talking about possessions in the first quarter. Green Bay, this includes all of punting, had 23 runs of the football, and the Oakland Raiders had 12, nearly 2-1.
And Green Bay still has the football. The score, however, is still only 3-0. So the Raiders, despite the fact that the Packers have dominated the play thus far, are still within easy striking range. But the Packers are getting close again. They're 32 yards away with a first down as Bart Starr goes back to throw. Out to the left flat to Donnie Anderson. He makes the catch, tries to cut around, but is rolled out of bounds at the sidelines by Gus Otto, the right side linebacker. Donnie Anderson, the halfback, getting out into a one-on-one situation with the linebacker. The advantage all to the passing team, and Bart Starr made the most of it. He fired one out there, completed and out of bounds at the 25, where it will be second down and 3 yards to go. A pickup of 7 on the play. Now the Packers come out of their huddle, moving up over the ball with Carroll Dale going out to the right side, splitting out in that direction, and Boyd Dollar wide left. Ben Wilson and Donnie Anderson have been the running backs since the start of the game for Green Bay. Again, the long count by Bart Starr. He gives the ball to Ben Wilson. Wilson has that hole off back into the left once again and plows down inside the 15-yard line before Willie Brown made the stop. The line blocking of the Green Bay Packers is something to behold. They are blowing those Oakland Raiders defenders right out of the picture. Ben Wilson, running to daylight, looks like he's running to the Great Plains. He has really got some holes to operate through. So that puts the ball now at the 14. It's first down, 10 yards to go from 14 yards away. Now is Bart Starr ready to go? He's tucked behind his center, Ken Bowman. Again, a somewhat long count. Drops straight back to throw. Donnie Anderson out to the left flat, has it, and drops it at the 10-yard line. That's the time when receivers drop passes when they're all alone, as Donnie Anderson was. And so sure that they're going to catch the pass that they begin to look too soon to see where the defenders are. And taking their eye off the ball that split second early, it goes in and out of their hands.
A moment ago, he got a 7-yard completion on it, throwing the ball in the far flat to Anderson. That time he came back with it again. That's one of the many reasons Bart Starr is a winning quarterback. He files away information, comes back with it when he needs it, And that time, Donnie simply dropped the ball around the 10.
Second down and 10 yards to go from 14 yards out. Single flankers out this time. Wide to the right. Running backs in normal position. Starr back to throw once more. He's rushed, caught. The Raiders have punched through to Neil Mark Starr. And they've got him back around the 24-yard line. Ike Lassiter coming in from left end and Tom Keating the right tackle. Stormed in there and got Mark Starr down. The contact established at the 24-yard line. A loss of 10. It'll be third down and 20 yards to go.
That's what the Raiders like to do. They've been great this year at dropping quarterback for losses. They've dropped them 67 times altogether. In the championship game, Bart Starr was thrown 8 times for losses in that ball game. That is one hope the Oakland Raiders had hoped in this ball game, is they could dump quarterback Bart Starr several times behind the line of scrimmage and then take over with their ground attack and their kicking game.
That should have a great psychological effect on Oakland, too. I'm sure they were beginning to think they could do nothing against these Green Bay Packers, but that time they did it and did it beautifully. Third and 20. Starr going back to throw. Up the middle, and he passes complete to his tight end, Mark Fleming, who gathers it in at the 13-yard line and is downed immediately by Roger Bird. So it'll be a field goal attempt by Don Chandler. For it is fourth down and 9. He'll be kicking from the 20-yard line. They haven't spotted it yet, but the almost standard distance of field goal attempts is 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And so, while Green Bay has been dominating Oakland, they have not put across 6 points on them. For the second time now, they must settle for a field goal. A 20-yard attempt. There's the snap. Ball down, kick on its way, and it is Radar right down the middle. Timeout is called on the field with the score Green Bay 6, Oakland nothing.
To a hiker, it's a longer walk to the ladies. It's a longer talk to women in. It's a longer tent to a smoker. Longer tent. Deluxe Lake Kent. It's longer. Deluxe Lake Kent. Much longer. Deluxe Lake Kent. Miles longer. More taste, fine tobacco. To a singer. It's a longer note to a villain. It's a longer float to a bloodhound. It's a longer scent to a smoker. Longer tint.
Now there's another great Kent. New Deluxe Length Kent. Longer than king size. Gives you more taste, more fine tobacco. Now long cigarette smokers can say, to a smoker, it's a Kent.
And now we're ready for the kickoff. Green Bay's Don Chandler has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Dave Grayson, Larry Todd are the deep men. Chandler puts it high in the air. Wind at his back now. And it drops on the 2-yard line to Grayson. He's back across the 10, out to the left, now to the 20. And still swinging near the sidelines. He's caught along the 25 and rolled out of bounds at the 26 by Tom Crutcher. So it'll be first and 10 for the Oakland Raiders on their own 26-yard line. Well, certainly now as we move into the second quarter, 12 minutes and 42 seconds left before the end of the first half, Oakland has discovered several things that will not work and a few that will against the Green Bay Packers. So Darryl LaMonica now is trying to start a drive. They are 6 points down. The score is 6-0 Green Bay. LaMonica gives the ball to Pete Banashek. Banashek trying it wide to the right is upended along the line of scrimmage and dropped at the 27 and 28 by Tom Brown. Oakland has persisted in running wide against Green Bay. Green Bay has persisted in blocking those attempts. That was a gain of a yard. Gain of 2 yards, call it. It'll be 2nd and 8 on the 28.
Offensively speaking, Bart Starr today is 5 for 8 passing, had one of those drops, so really he has done his job about 3 out of 4 times, which indicates what a highly accurate quarterback he is.
Bill Miller wide to the left. Bolitnikoff wide to the right. Roll out by LaMonica to the right. He whips one to the sidelines to Bolitnikoff. Is hit just as he threw it by Willie Davis. And Henry Jordan was moving right after him on the rush. The hurried throw is incomplete to Bolitnikoff along the sidelines. So it'll be third down rather, and 8 yards to go. Still on the 28-yard line. Darryl LaMonica has been looking at nothing but tough third down situations against Green Bay, and he's got another one here. Bill Miller goes out wide to the left side. Billy Cannon is set on the left side at tight end. LaMonica going straight back this time. Is rushed and dropped. DeSelva came through there and spun him down, and right behind him was Willie Davis to make the tackle, and LaMonica is thrown for a loss back at the 19.
You recall last year in the Super Bowl game against Kansas City, the Packers and Bart Starr in particular made the big call on third down. Today, Starr is 3 for 4 on the pay down. And the Oakland quarterback, Darryl LaMonica, right now is 0 for 3 as Mike Eyeshide goes back to kick.
Don Brown and Willie Wood are deep for Green Bay, waiting for the punt. Eyeshide moves into the ball, rides it very high in the air. Willie Wood waits for it. He's going to run it. He takes it along the 34. There were a swarm of Raiders around him as he elected to run that back, and he got it out to the 37-yard line before he was stopped. Bob Cruz coming in to make the tackle. And so Green Bay takes over 1st and 10 at their own 37. The score in the game is 6-0. Green Bay on a pair of field goals by Don Chandler, leading the Oakland Raiders with 11 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the second quarter of the game. Carroll Dale coming out wide to the left, Boyd Dollar out to the right. Wilson and Anderson, the running backs. Bart Starr at quarterback drops straight back. He's looking for someone to throw to. Force one over the middle of Boyd Dollar is all alone. Secondary was roundly fooled on that play. And Boyd Dollar got behind into an all-alone situation. There wasn't a defender within 10 yards of him when he caught that pass, and he ran the rest of the way for the touchdown, and now Don Chandler will try for the extra point. Waiting for the snap. There it is. The kick is on its way, and the kick is good. Timeout is called on the field with the score, Green Bay 13, Oakland nothing.
Right now, do you have a problem with bills, installment contracts, or other money obligations that have gotten just a little out of hand? Need an answer? Get a bill payer loan from Household Finance, the oldest and largest company of its kind. With a bill payer loan from HFC, you can clear up everything at once, then have just one payment a month to Household. That's lower than the monthly total you're now paying. Household recommends never borrow money needlessly. But when you need money to pay bills, clear up installment contracts, or meet other money obligations, get a bill payer loan from the company that tells you in advance what your loan will cost. The company that says, before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost. That's HFC Household Finance, where every year over 2.5 million people borrow with confidence.
And now, with a 13-0 lead, Don Chandler prepares to kick off to the Oakland Raiders with Dave Grayson and Larry Todd awaiting the kickoff. 10 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the second quarter of the game as Chandler rides into the ball, sends it on its way. Todd moves over, takes it on the goal line, out to the 5. There's the 10. He's across the 15, gets out to the 20, bounces into the first Green Bay Packer, and is dropped. Bob Hyland coming in to make the tackle, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Oakland Raiders on their own 22-yard line. Here at Dixon, Pete Banashek in the running back positions, move into the huddle. Politnikov comes out of the huddle, swings around to go wide to the left side. Bill Miller, the split end, is going out wide on that side as well, putting both wide receivers to the left. Ball on the 22-yard line, 1st and 10. LaMonica gives the ball to Banashek. Banashek on a cross butt. Gets the right side of the Packer line, finds a hole there, and finally is stopped by Dave Robinson as he gets that ball out to the 27, 28-yard line. Ball placed down at the 27, a pickup of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Kind of interesting to note that Green Bay has picked up 10 1st and 10s. The Raiders have 3, but Starr passing again today has been a big factor in the first half. He has gone 6 for 9.
Second down, 5 yards to go on their own 27-yard line now for the Oakland Raiders. Again, the 2 wide receivers are set out to the left side. LaMonica gives the ball to Banashek. Banashek again on the cross butt, hitting just to the right of center from the left halfback starting position. Gets across the 30 to be dropped by Willie Davis, the left end. Ball is spotted at the 32. And they're going to have to measure now to see whether or not it's a first down. It's a gain of around 5 yards, and that was what was needed. The chain is extended, placed down, and there's about 6 inches left. So it'll be third down. About 6 inches to go for a first down. The ball just short of the 32-yard line as the Raiders get back into their huddle. Green Bay now. Defense set. Moves up into a tight line formation. Ready to block up the middle. Ray Nitschke overshifting a little bit to the right. The linebackers favoring their right side. The handoff is given over to Dixon. He has the first down as he gets a nice block on the corner and cuts inside the corner man. Takes the ball to the 40-yard line before Willie Davis, the left end for Green Bay, was able to catch it. Tom Brown helping out on the play, and the ball is at the 40, first and 10, and we take 10 seconds out now for station identification. This is the CBS Radio Network.
590 WROW Music, Albany, New York, 4 o'clock.
Ready to go now. LaMonica taking the snap from center, throwing a quick pass to Biletnikoff out on the right flat and nailed immediately by Herb Adderley, who pile drive the shoulder into him but couldn't dislodge the football. And the gain is at the 44-yard line. So it's a pickup of 4 yards, second down and 6. Oakland's ball on their own 44. The score in the ball game is 13-0 Green Bay with a little less than 8.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. The Oakland Raiders in their huddle. Biletnikoff going out wide to the left. Both wide receivers are set out there. Bill Miller, the split end, playing in a slot position on the left side as well. And suddenly the Oakland Raiders stand up and get into a discussion with Jack West. Tom?
I think the center, Otto, that time had a lot of perspiration on his hands. He wanted somebody to do something about the football and get a new ball in there. That's exactly what's happened. And it's kind of interesting to note one of the defensive players, Dan Birdwell, used to be a center in this league, but had a perspiration problem on his hands and had to be made then a defensive lineman.
Now they're ready to go with a dry, fresh football. Again, the split end and flanker are both set out to the left side. LaMonica going back to throw. He arches one up the middle, and it's a fine grab down there at the 40-yard line by Bill Miller in Packer territory. Dave Robinson, Willie Wood combining on the tackle. But he caught that one in a crowd and came down with the football on the Packer 40, and it's another first down for Oakland. And Oakland, for the first time in this ball game, is putting something together. It's noteworthy that they quit running wide. Their running game has been from tackle to tackle and cross-bucking just to the right or left of the middle of the line. That running game has been gaining, and it's been setting up their passing game, and they now have it first and 10 on the Packer 40. Hendon flanker out to the right side this time. Bootleg by LaMonica. Screen pass. Gets it to Dixon. Dixon drops the ball, and it is an incomplete pass. Ron Kostelnik was over there covering on the play. Dixon, however, was not hit by Kostelnik. As he caught the ball, he started again to look around to see where the defenders were, taking his eyes off the ball a moment too soon. Incomplete. Second and 10 on the 40. Better than 7 minutes left to play in the first half of this game. Green Bay 13, Oakland nothing. Biletnikoff and Bill Miller both going out wide to the left. Second and long yardage, passing down. Let's see if LaMonica does go to the air. And the blitz is on. Nitschke trying to get through there, but they protect him. He throws that ball, completes it to Banaszak. Banaszak banked out of bounds by Leroy Caffey down at the 25-yard line. Green Bay throwing the blitz at Oakland for the first time this afternoon. Had Oakland ready for it. They picked it up beautifully. LaMonica had plenty of time as he got complete protection. Threw the ball to his running back, beat Banaszak, and it's first and 10 on the 25.
Probably thing they'll resort to right now, but Oakland likes to do that. They like to swing past the halfback and run one-on-one on the linebacker, and Banaszak has got fairly good speed.
Hendon flanker both out. Handoff this time to Banaszak once again. Banaszak again on that crossbuck, which has been effective against Green Bay in the second quarter. Doesn't make too much this time, but did get a gain as he took the ball to the 23. So it'll be second down and 8 yards to go from 23 yards away. Oakland for the first time mounting a scoring threat against the Green Bay Packers. And if they can pop a 6-pointer across here and add the extra point, they will really be back in this ball game. The score is 13-0 against them. Now Biletnikoff and Miller both go wide to the right. LaMonica looks over their Packer defense. Has a fairly long count, now drops back to throw. Sends it out there for Miller. Miller catches on the slide and is in for the touchdown. Bill Miller getting behind Dave Alvin from the linebacker. Grabbed that ball, cheated along the sideline, holding his balance to keep from going out of bounds, and went in the end zone for the score. And we've got us a ball game on our hands. 23-yard touchdown. George Bland on the try for the extra point. LaMonica holds. The kick is on its way, and the kick is good. Green Bay 13, Oakland 7.
Light up your life. Torino. Light up your life. Torino, 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 Torino. Thank you, Torino.
With Ford's newest bright idea, Torino. Torino, 6 new luxury models, including hardtops, sedans, and convertibles that come with a full 116-inch wheelbase. Torino, with its longer wheelbase.
Light up your life. Torino. Light up your life. Torino, 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 Torino. Thank you, Torino.
Now, light up your life with Ford's newest bright idea, Torino. Torino, 6 new luxury models, including hardtops, sedans, and convertibles that come with a full 116-inch wheelbase. Torino, with its longer wheelbase, more room, and smoother ride, is more car than 16 higher-priced competing models. Torino, another better idea from Ford.
Light up your life.
Torino.
Light up your life.
Torino.
Torino, Torino, Torino.
And now for the first time today, with the score 13-7, following that Oakland touchdown, the Green Bay Packers are going to receive a kickoff. Let's see if Eyeshide tries Travis Williams. He sends a low skidding kick over near the sidelines and is grabbed there by one of the blocking men up front, and he is out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Tommy Crutcher grabbed the football, one of the blocking screen, since it wasn't about to get back to the deep receivers. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers, the ball on the 15.
Bill Miller, a Miami boy, is having a great first half. He's latched on to 4 aerials, and that included that 23-yard bomb, and there's nothing like coming back home in the Orange Bowl and having a big ball game.
Now Green Bay up over the ball. Those are the ball just short of their own 15-yard line. Bart Starr ready to go. He has an end flanker both out on opposite sides. He gives the ball on a handoff to Wilson, his fullback. Wilson is caught and thrown for a loss. Out of bounds at the 14-yard line by Dan Connors, the middle linebacker. And I think that might have been all that Oakland needed, was to score in this ball game. They had been playing an obviously tight, nervous game. But suddenly they succeeded in throwing Bart Starr for a loss on one occasion, were able to mount a drive and get all the way into pay dirt on another. And while it's a cliche that's overused, this thing does indeed look like a brand new ball game. 2nd down now, and 11 yards to go from their own 14-yard line. Green Bay ready to put the ball in play. Starr goes back to throw. The rush is on, and he's filled up the 4-yard line by Tom Keating. Tom Keating going through the gap had an absolute free search on Bart Starr. No one laid a finger on it. The connection was made on the 5, and that ruled his forward progress stopped. So the Packers now must put the ball in play on their own 5.
Great play that time. As we talked about Keating was playing head up with his center, Bowman, made a move to the left, moved quickly to the right. His quickness showed you why he could do the job right there, and he fired in on the quarterback, and Oakland is making a defensive adjustment. Instead of playing a four-man front and a three-man front, many times they've got a linebacker up there, and they're not stunning their middle linebacker, Dan Connors.
So it's third down and 20 yards to go on their own 5-yard line. Green Bay in a deep hole, as the Oakland Raiders have suddenly shaken off the jitters that have accompanied them through this game and are going after the pass. Ben Wilson on the handoff, swinging wide to the left, is held to a short gain. He's dropped at the 8-yard line by, again, Tom Keating. Tom Keating has a bad Achilles tendon, and he is limping slightly as he walks toward the bench. If the Packers are run out of downs, he would be pure murder if he were found. Ball at the 7-yard line, fourth down. And Green Bay will have to punt. Donnie Anderson will be deep in his own end zone to handle that chore. The deep men down for the punt. Roger Bird, number 21, and the tight end Warren Wells, or the split end Warren Wells, number 81. Donnie Anderson deep in the outer reaches of the end zone. Gets the pass from center, puts a beauty high in the air, spiraling it out, and it's taken on the Oakland 49 by Roger Bird. On his run back, he gets it down to the Green Bay 40 before he's nailed by John Rouser. And so the Oakland Raiders take over again in great field position.
That's what Bird does. He's not a fancy type punt return man. He catches the football. He doesn't go to the outside. He runs straight at you. And they were able to average 12 6/10 of a yard per run back this year. By far the best average in the AFL.
So the Oakland Raiders, 40 yards away, have it first and 10. Both wide receivers are set to the right side. Dixon and Banishak are the running backs, and Banishak takes this one. He's trying to sweep, and is caught along the 40-yard line by Ray Nitschke. Nitschke, the middle linebacker, chasing out on the play. Got to the ball carrier and dropped him along the 40-yard line. Virtually no gain on the play. It's second down, about 9.5 yards to go, still on the 40-yard line, and I suspect that Oakland ran that play at Green Bay just to keep them honest on defense, because it has not been working against the Packers. Their stuff between the tackles has been the running plays that have gotten them the yardage. And now they have both wide men set to the left on a second and long yardage situation. LaMonica goes back to fake the pass. It's a draw, however, and Dixon with the handoff cuts to the left side, bounces off the first tackler, tries to cut back, but is dropped on the 39. Stop made by Tom Brown, number 40, and Ron Kostelnik, the left tackle. So the ball now is at the 39-yard line, where it's third down and 9 yards to go. 3 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the second quarter of the game, with Green Bay in front 13-7. And the Oakland Raiders have the ball 39 yards away on a big third down situation for Darryl LaMonica. Both wide receivers set to the right side. An obvious passing down, and LaMonica goes straight back. He's getting good protection once again. Throws the ball up the middle too high. The target on that one was your Dixon, his fullback, but it went over his head and on beyond into the ground, incomplete. So it's fourth down, and in comes George Blanda. They'll be trying a field goal, and this one will be a field goal attempt from 46 yards away. LaMonica to hole. Actually, they're giving him a little more yardage behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to try it from 47 yards out. Ball is placed down. Blanda puts it high in the air, too high. It's dropping short. Willie Wood makes it a catch along the 1-yard line. It's in along the 5 and dropped at the 8. Willie Wood must have thought the backspin on that ball would have kept it from bouncing into the end zone, where it would have been first and 10 on the 20, because the kick was overly high and was dropping almost straight down with the wind against the kick, and so he grabbed it on the 1, brought it out to the 8-yard line, and the Packers in a hole once again, take it over first and 10 at that point. Green Bay comes out of the huddle, sending Carroll Dale wide to the left side. Boyd Dollar split slightly to the right. Anderson and Wilson, the running backs. And Starr gives the ball to Donnie Anderson, and he shoots into the line on the right side on a quick opening play and is able to nudge his way out to the area of the 10-yard line. The ball is right on the 10. Dan Connors, the middle linebacker for Oakland, coming in on the stop. So it's second down and 8 yards to go. The ball on their own 10-yard line. And the whistle blows the ball dead for the moment for the 2-minute warning. Remember, next week, it's the Pro Bowl from Los Angeles, the NFL All-Stars from the Eastern and Western Conferences. We'll be bringing you that one over most of these CBS radio network stations. Second down, 8 yards to go. The ball on their own 10-yard line. The Green Bay Packers against the Oakland Raiders. Oakland very edgy and unable to mount much of anything in the way of an attack, but having a defense able to contain a rampaging band of Green Bay Packers, finally got untracked in the second quarter to put a touchdown on the board, and the score is 13-7 in favor of Green Bay at the moment. Tom?
Think about the Packers today. In the first half, they've had a balanced attack. The line has fired out very well and done a good job blocking, and Bart Starr's had a good day throwing in the first half, going 6 for 9. Balance has been one of their keynotes. They like to mix it up real well. The Oakland Raiders had greater success, as you pointed out, throwing to Bill Miller. Bill Miller caught that 23-yard touchdown pass, and he's already caught 4 aerials today. But it's obvious the Oakland Raiders cannot get wide on the Green Bay Packers because of their outstanding lateral pursuit.
Now Green Bay ready to put the ball in play. That short gain put them out on the 10-yard line. Second down, 8 yards to go. 2 minutes left to play in the first half. The score 13-7 in favor of the Packers as they send Carroll Dale wide to the left, but keep Boyd Dollar in fairly tight on the right side. Bart Starr looks over the defense. He hands the ball off to Ben Wilson, and Wilson trying to cut through the left. No, Travis Williams has come in. Cut through the left, skids as he makes his cut up around the 15-yard line and is dropped at that point some 3 yards short of a first down. Howie Williams coming in to sort of pounce on him. So it'll be 3rd and 3 from the 15-yard line. The speedy Travis Williams now teamed up with Ben Wilson at running back. He's come in and replaced Danny Anderson. Starr ready to go once again. 3rd and 3. That's kind of tricky yardage. Certainly can't be called short yardage. He gives it to Travis Williams, and Williams trying to go wide to the right is caught short of a first down. He is dropped by Dan Connors, number 55, and Dan Birdwell, number 53, the middle linebacker and left tackle, respectively. And the Packers are out of downs as that play is stopped on the 16.
Again, the ringleader was middle linebacker Dan Connors, who's had an outstanding second quarter. The Oakland Raider defense has gotten better this year because Connors has really come to the fore. He's become an aggressive linebacker. He was mad by what he read in a newspaper and a magazine before the season that the Oakland Raider linebackers were adequate. They called him adequate, and he's had an outstanding year, good enough to make the All-Star team.
Now Donnie Anderson is deep in punt formation. Roger Bird, Warren Wells are the safety man. Anderson puts one very high in the air. Fair catch signal given by Roger Bird. He fumbles the ball. And it looked like Green Bay recovered. The Packers have the football. Dick Teff down under the ball. Recovered it for Green Bay as a fumbled fair catch. Gives the ball to the Packers at the Oakland 45. Well, they say you cannot make a mistake against Green Bay. We have 23 seconds to find out. That's the time remaining, and the Packers call for a timeout to hold the clock dead. That's the second timeout Green Bay has had. So they have one remaining. Or is that the second? Let's see. No, the first one, Oakland had a timeout for the injured player. I think that's the first Green Bay timeout. 23 seconds left on the clock, and Green Bay has the ball with a recovered fumble on the Oakland 45-yard line. Max McGee is coming into the ball game. Marv Fleming, the tight end, is going out, so Bart Starr is going to get an additional wide receiver. Max McGee, you may recall, who caught only 3 forward passes through the entire 19